Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to episode number 419 of NoDQ&A video, right here on NoDQ.com and the YouTube channel. This is the post-Royal Rumble edition of NoDQ&A video. Everyone's talking about the Royal Rumble, not in a good way. Got a lot of questions here regarding the Royal Rumble. I gave my full review of the Royal Rumble last night with Mike Nagel and Noah Donish, and much like Triple H putting over Sheamus, I have to put over my buddies. So if you didn't like the video last night, today is a chance for me to redeem myself and get some more of my thoughts on the pay-per-view and answer your questions. So let's get started here with the first one today from Xavier Maidana Spa. Hey Aaron, hope everything's fine. After the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, do you think WWE should change booking decisions based on the crowd reactions of the shows? Here's the thing with WWE. And I'm going to say this to everybody out there watching that is unhappy with what went down at the Royal Rumble. If you want WWE to change, if you want Daniel Bryan to be the face of the company, here's what you have to do. You have to stop buying John Cena merchandise. You have to stop buying Batista merchandise. You have to stop buying Randy Orton merchandise. And if Daniel Bryan is headlining a WWE event, you need to not only buy a ticket, you need to tell everybody you know to buy a ticket, because WWE goes by the numbers. That's the bottom line. SummerSlam did a disappointing buy rate. That was Daniel Bryan in the WWE title match against John Cena. Now, it's safe to say that WWE could have done a better job booking Daniel Bryan, no question. But on the other hand, Daniel Bryan did get that headline position, and the buy rate was disappointing. So WWE, they go by the numbers, and for WrestleMania 30, they feel that guys like Batista, John Cena, and Randy Orton, those are the guys that are going to sell the pay-per-views, and they are the ones that people are most interested in seeing. So until the numbers say otherwise, they are going to keep doing what they are doing. And it doesn't matter if the fans hijack the show or not. But, time will tell, because this is the first time that we've really seen a pay-per-view hijacked by the fans to this degree for this Royal Rumble pay-per-view. But if the numbers don't change, WWE is not going to change. That's the bottom line. All right, this next one comes from WraithWolf 007. What do you think fans are more pissed about, Daniel Bryan not in the Rumble or Batista winning it? Well, I think it's a combination of both. I've seen a lot of feedback online about Batista. A lot of fans are not happy about him coming back and immediately being thrust into the spotlight, similar to how Brock Lesnar was and similar to how The Rock was. But once again, we're talking about numbers here. Batista came back on Raw last week, and it did a huge rating. Several 100,000 people that normally don't watch WWE tuned in to see Batista come back. And he is a numbers mover, whether you like the guy or not. So that's why WWE brings him in and pushes him. And, they were expecting a big number for that show, and they got it. So, that's just going to reinforce Vince's mindset that Batista is a top draw. And, fans were also unhappy about Bryan not being in the Rumble, obviously, because they were chanting for him throughout the show. And, not just the Royal Rumble match, but also John Cena, Randy Orton. So it was definitely a combination of Daniel Bryan not being in the main event and WWE fans, at least in the arena, rejecting the top guys that WWE has been pushing, like Batista and John Cena and Randy Orton. All right, this next one comes from TNT26X. Aaron, with the reaction at the Rumble by fans, will this carry on to Raw, or was it just because Daniel Bryan wasn't in the Rumble? Once again, time will tell if this leads to an ongoing situation where the fans continue to hijack the shows. We did have that Raw in Seattle last month where the fans were chanting for Daniel Bryan during that main event segment. And, Randy Orton looked visibly frustrated by that. And, Batista, after the Rumble, apparently, according to reports, he was flipping off fans and he didn't appear to be too happy about things. So, it is a disruption. It is disrupting the show when the fans continue to chant for Daniel Bryan and reject the other superstars. So, if it happens enough times, maybe WWE would do something. But once again, it comes right down to the numbers. I mean, it's good and bad for WWE. Obviously, the crowd reaction to the Rumble was bad because it's the second biggest pay-per-view of the year, and you have all those negative chants throughout the show. And, if they release it on DVD or whatever, there's going to be a lot of editing and muting they're going to have to be doing. But, they'll just try to get through it. And, I think in WWE they're hoping that it'll just blow over. And, it was just that particular crowd that was really negative about what they were seeing. All right, this one comes from Ivan. Just Ivan. What do you think about Alexander Rusev's debut at the Royal Rumble? Please answer in video. I actually did not mention this on the review video last night, so I'll mention it here. I thought it was fine. I thought they did a good job having him come out and make an impact in this first match, and he got some offense on some of the guys, and he was in there for a bit. So I think it was a good way to start him off, and hopefully they follow up on it and continue to put him. They continue to put him in a prominent role on television, not do what they did with Bo Dallas, where he comes out for the Rumble and then he's back on NXT and he's never seen again on WWE television. So, hopefully they follow through with it and give him a push now. All right, this one comes from 1351. Hey Aaron, please answer in video. What was the biggest flop of the Royal Rumble? Daniel Bryan not being included in the Royal Rumble match, or that Roman Reigns didn't win it? Personally, I would rather have had Roman win it and Batista get a chance at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Regarding Roman Reigns, as great as they did there with him, they had him go out there. He beat Kane's record. He dominated the match as we were expecting going in. WWE did a tremendous job with that. But it's too soon for him to be in the main event of WrestleMania. No question. It was definitely too soon, and I think he looked stronger in defeat rather than winning the whole thing when he's not ready. And, they still have the Shield storyline to finish up, and, the same thing I mentioned on the video a couple weeks ago, Dean Ambrose, that sneaky little bastard, tries to eliminate him, but it ended up failing, and Roman Reigns eliminated both Roman Reigns eliminated both Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, and I actually liked that a lot. I like that better than just Dean Ambrose throwing out Roman Reigns. So, I think WWE did a great job with that, and I wouldn't call that a flop in any fashion. Regarding Daniel Bryan not being included in the Rumble match, can't really say that's a flop because they never advertised the guy. Now, WWE did only announce 20 guys for the Rumble instead of announcing all the people, so the fans got their hopes up. But I can't really fault WWE all that much because they didn't advertise him for the pay-per-view. And, going in, I wasn't expecting him to be in the Rumble match, and I wasn't expecting him to win it. So, I think the biggest flop was the WWE title match, just because the crowd was so negative about it, and the WWE title match shouldn't have that kind of reaction. I talked about this a few weeks ago. Once again, going in, it felt like a filler match, and that's how the fans reacted to it. Like it was, a match with two guys not worthy of being in that spot. All right, this one comes from Shiggy Diggy Bang. The crowd was absolutely disgusted with Rey Mysterio entering at number 30 instead of Daniel Bryan. So much so that they cheered Rollins for eliminating him. I know WWE won't do it, but if they wanted to, could they turn Rey Mysterio heel on such heat? I don't think they're going to turn Rey Mysterio because for most of the shows he'll get cheered when he comes out. I don't think it's going to be an ongoing thing where people boo him, and it would be silly to boo him. But I think Rey was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. I don't think it mattered who number 30 was. If it wasn't Daniel Bryan, that guy was going to be the most hated guy in the building. All right, this one comes from Bones Maloney. Hey Aaron, with rumors flying around that Daniel Bryan will face Sheamus at WrestleMania 30, should we expect some kind of heel turn from the Celtic Warrior? Please answer in video. Thanks. Well, one would think WWE would turn Sheamus heel for a match with Daniel Bryan, and even if they don't officially do it, the crowd will obviously turn on Sheamus, and he will be the heel whether WWE turns him or not. But yeah, I do think we will get a proper heel turn from Sheamus. I expected him to come back as a babyface initially because he would get the big pop, and he got a decent reaction, but people quickly turned on him. So I think it'll be unlike Rey Mysterio, it'll be a lot easier to turn Sheamus heel, and he hasn't been a heel for a while, so I think it's the right move. All right, a couple more questions here. Didn't the Rhodes Brothers title loss seem lackluster to you? They had a great story to win the belts, but then they had no story during the actual reign, followed by them jobbing out in the pre-show. Your thoughts? I mentioned this before. I didn't really have an issue with the New Age Outlaws beating Cody Rhodes and Goldust. I do think that it's too soon to break up the brothers, but there's been talk about them having the WrestleMania match, so if that's the case, then now would have been the time. My only real issue is that they did do it in the pre-show. If you're going to have a tag team title change, you might as well have it on the pay-per-view. I think it devalues the titles when you just have it as a pre-show match. But, WWE was very limited with time. There was only 4 matches on the entire pay-per-view. The Rumble match takes up an hour. You had the WWE title match. And, if Bray Wyatt and Daniel Bryan was the pre-show match, fans would have complained about that too. So, can't win either way with WWE. So, I think what would have been best would have been to have like a screwy finish in that tag title match, and then next night on Raw have the Outlaws beat them. But whatever. All right, last question here. Hypothetically, if Roman Reigns won the Rumble, how would have you booked him for WrestleMania? Well, if Roman Reigns won the Royal Rumble, and if he wins it, let's say next year, obviously you have him win the title at WrestleMania, similar to how Batista won the 2005 Rumble and then went on to main event WrestleMania and won the title as the top babyface. So, that would be the ideal way to push Roman Reigns to the top. And maybe next year. Maybe he'll be ready then. Time will tell. So that'll do it for this edition of No DQ&A video. I will get to more of your questions tomorrow. You can submit them at spring.me/AaronRift. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com for all the latest post-Royal Rumble news. There's a lot of stuff going out right now. And lots of news and rumors about the Royal Rumble. So with that being said, I'll see you guys next time for another edition of No DQ&A video.